Where's this guy's account?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut with Brian Galke. He's really sad today. He's playing with spam. He likes to click on stuff and have it take over his computer.
Yep. I responded to something for a speaking gig. And so there's a software I use called bark.com. And somebody reached out and said, hey, we want to get an estimate from you for a speaking gig. And I was multitasking. I was listening to a Zoom call while I was doing that. And sure enough, he sends me a Zoom link, and I didn't hover over the hyperlink ahead of time. And then when I clicked on it, it went to a black screen. I'm like, that's weird. It didn't try and interrupt my Zoom. And I went and looked, and sure enough, it was malware. So I had to go disconnect my computer from the internet, go run a scan, shut everything down. It was trying to download an installer. I killed that. And now I'm just letting the company know that, hey, this is going on.
So you feel violated is what it is.
Well, it's one of those things that you start thinking about. It's like, oh crap, how are your backups? How are everything else? And then
that's why I do have nothing on my computer. Everything's on the cloud. Nothing.
Yes, agreed.
And that's like when the Apple kept going down for the studio. I got it back, but I haven't connected it. And they were like, is there anything on here? I go, nothing I need. I said, if there's downloads, I don't care about them because they're somewhere else. And that's how I run it. And then they give me the computer back telling me, we replaced everything inside, but they want to know how you're using it. Because you bought this in 22. It has 4 terabyte hard drive, the max RAM you could get on everything. And I'm like, what's the problem? Well, it was in 22 you bought it. It was a 2019 model. I go, yeah, you didn't have the M4 chip at the time. And then 2 years later, you had it on the MacBook Pro. For some reason, you guys don't want to give it to the MacBook Pro ahead of time, where users use the MacBook Pro, not the Air. Anyway, so the way they were talking to me is like, oh, it's not going to work for what I'm doing. Well, that sounds like there's a problem with this computer that you don't want me to know about, and they're already setting up. You might want to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. I already spent a lot of money on this computer. It should last more than 5 years.
Last you 5. See, the one thing I don't like is the new computers don't have the slide across the front, and that's one of the things I use on a regular basis.
I only do that on the dance floor.
The electric slide.
I'm trying to see if you understood what I was talking about.
Oh yeah. Come on, we're around the same age. All right. Here's the screen shot for the user.
That's what again, back to the whole thing. That is the biggest thing I'm worried about when I put my websites live, any app I create live. I want to make sure that it's so protected that nothing can happen, because there's nothing worse than getting broken into. And these guys, it's like people in prison. They have 24 hours a day to figure out how to do something, and guards only have 8 to 12 hours to make sure they don't. And so
let's say 24 hours a day. They're just figuring out. Some people will use it now. I will say they're now doing what do you call it?
It wasn't really to get into the whole thing about the prison. It was just a statement.
No, I was going to say, I got distracted.
Think about how to focus on getting into things. And so I try to find all the new ways that they're breaking into stuff and make sure with the systems I create that they can't get in that way. But the biggest thing is, because one of the things I just built out was my website is now also my loan officer, my processing software at the same time, which is really good because one person in, right out to wherever. So much that the company I do a lot of business with, the wholesale, we're talking on Monday to connect to their API to go directly through their portal with it, which is like, I was like, what? Okay, sounds good to me.
Why not?
Well, because I can upload the stuff now regularly through it, but I want the portal like I have on this other software I have, because it's so much easier. Click my apps, there it is, bring it in, import it, done. Plus, it gives you the credibility that other ones won't have. Not that I'm trying to sell this, but I just want it done right.
Done. Yeah. I haven't really done much this week. I got home Tuesday, and I tried to play catch up yesterday, and then yesterday I didn't get a lot done. And then today I was going to be productive until the whole fishing thing. Like I was chasing leads, chasing businesses, chasing business. And then that fun event just happened. That just wasted an hour and a half of my day. But good news is I'm good. The software says I'm clean. So I did install Malware Bytes. So that's what it said was the best one for Macs. Yeah. And so it's in there, and it says, I did a scan, did a report, says I'm good to go.
And just be glad, because for the longest time, they couldn't do anything to Apples or Mac, or whatever you want to call it. But they still can, but it's not as easy as it is on Microsoft. There's so many ways to break into those things.
That's just it. Well, and they said that when I talked to, I called a cybersecurity friend of mine who she's an expert, and she's like, yeah, they write it mainly for Safari. So the fact you're using Chrome or Firefox or something else is another reason that you probably didn't get it. Because I went in, I checked, like, is it installing anything? Did it put anything in downloads? I had to go clear out my cache for the last, hour or whatever. So this is good.
If you got extra cash, you can send it my way.
Yeah, I wish. CACHE, sir, not the other one. That's a whole other subject. But anyway, now I just want to make sure.
So with your speaking gigs, why haven't you AI'd that thing?
What do you mean?
Find stuff for you and automatically send stuff for it.
I use AI to do a like requests for speakers. What are some of the things that are out there? But
why haven't you written an app that does this? Kind of like that other one you have that for speaking, and then they do the referral, and everybody does the reviews and everything.
Right.
You have one that finds all the gigs out there, and then allows you to apply for them and promote yourself to them, and then have that app for everybody to use, kind of like what you adopted that other one.
So I still haven't found a good way to do that. So for example, I went into ChatGPT and I was like, do all the open call for speakers. Well, no, I'm trying to find the information first.
ChatGPT to do it.
No. Yeah. What I'm saying is I don't know where to get the data from first. That's what I'm having to chase, is once I can find what are ways to find open calls for speakers, then I could develop an app to help find them. But right now,
I understand what you're saying. Go to Gemini, go to somewhere else. Don't use ChatGPT. I know a lot of people use it for talking and how to plan stuff out. But I've found by building and what I'm building that a lot of the Gemini and other stuff is so much better for what I'm building.
Right.
And I just like, for one of the things I was building, I needed HUD's certain table because I did a reverse mortgage. So my lending for living sites got this reverse mortgage calculator that's no one's ever had on their website. And I needed it was not accurate enough for me. I wanted within a few thousand. It was like 20 grand off. And it's like, well, we're using these steps instead of using the full chart. And so I found it and dropped the chart in there and fixed everything. The question is, there's many sources of finding this information, not only just yourself Googling or using ChatGPT. Use Gemini or other places to find that. Or, think outside. A lot of the times it doesn't find it. I'm the one that thinks about it. Hey, that's how I could, possibly be done.
That's what I should do. Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to it. Yes. I'm sorry, my brain's all over the place with this thing. I wanted to make sure like I wasn't sending any spammy emails out or anything else. So I'm good to go.
Yeah, because I had somebody who received something from me, supposedly just my name. Right. Parcaut, which I don't use that as my name. And it was not for my email, it was not for my computer, and they were like, and then later somebody was like checking, and they're like, they probably just grabbed your name and then sent this with your name. You had nothing, you were hacked, you were not any of that kind of stuff. But if you look back, I checked, Facebook's been hacked so many times, and people lost so much stuff out of there. Just because they have those names, they can just grab it from there. It had nothing to do about your account being hacked, just the fact that they grabbed all that name. So that's why I really hate putting stuff online. So, these apps I created just because I'm worried about someone breaking into them, but it's got to have a lot of users in order for that to do it. So. Right.
There's got to be a value for it. Right. So that's the big things that have been hacked is, anything that has credit cards for customers, stuff like that. And so that's why you should be using third-party payment processors versus you taking their credit card numbers in. So if you use like Stripe is one of the ones that most people start off in.
Expensive, man.
That, and I hear that if you suddenly come into a lot of money, you've heard the Russell Brunson thing and Alex Hormozy, right, where they made like $50,000 or $150,000. Stripe's like, oh, this looks suspicious. We're going to hold on to it for 6 months.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So, that's if you
the question is, where's the other better payment plan places? Is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, we should bring somebody on who does that and find out, like, what do they use? What are the different backup ones? That's who which is a joker.
Problem I like about, and also, Stripe, it holds on to your money for a week.
Mine goes about 3 days.
Oh, it seems like a week.
Yeah, but you're right, because
if you have a weekend in that, it is 5 days. So.
Yes. So, that's
Venmo is good, but not good for having your site to take payment plans through.
Yeah. Exactly. So there's different ones that are there, but they each have their problems with it. You just got to find one that works for you. Stripe is.
Didn't Perry create one? Ever have one?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I could have swore I saw. I got to check into that and ask them if they've come up with one or who they use. That's what we should do. Reach out to them. Reach out to our people we're into the whole thing that do all this stuff.
That's what you're right, because there's an infinite amount of people. Knowledge. You know what I mean? That in there.
That's at 11 in less than an hour. They're starting up again. Maybe they'll be talking about something today.
Yeah, I had to drop yesterday to run, but I was on it for the first hour or so. And I figured I'd just go back.
Like the first hour is exactly like the last hour of the last thing they did. I'm like,
the
first day, nothing really gets done. The second day, they start finally getting into something. And then the third day, they talk about everything they did on the second day. And then they don't really, I'm like, most of the stuff is not for me anymore. I need advanced stuff, how to make money. Once you create it, how to promote it, how to do stuff. These are all how to do well with AI. Well, I already know how to do it well with AI. Just like
well, that's one of the same things. I reached out actually to Angie because I said, "Hey, hold on, I want to change my mic."
But that would be Nuno. Nuno's stuff is really good. They're more advanced on
good
AI stuff.
Yeah. Well, what I wanted to reach out to her to say,
Did you change your mic?
Yeah, I changed to my actual mic instead of the head AirPods.
I was like, it's so much quieter now. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I was on my AirPods, because I was moving around. But yeah, so I actually reached out to Angie and said, "Hey, when can I get some time on your calendar? Because there's so much information in there that I feel like a squirrel. I don't know which way to go, because there's everything. There's newsletters. There's how to write your book. There's how to, you name it. And it's just, there's so much. It's overwhelming to a degree."
Yeah, and that's what I'm running into. I'm doing so many different things that I have to finish. Like, I'm finishing up my 2 websites, which I got one left to finish up, and it's just the M28, the extra safety I'm putting into it. The question is, I wanted to know, did I want to have an authenticator, or did I want to use dual mobile? All the different things.
Yeah.
So, and when it searched my app, is like, you're 95% better than all the other mortgage apps out there.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
With a security I had in there. It's because I don't want to have like my social security numbers are secured inside, hidden. Plus it has a log who opened it and looked at it.
Good.
So, yeah.
I did see on a side note to that, I saw there was a video on Instagram yesterday, the day after, where it was a guy teaching you how to tell if somebody's trying to go through your phone. So you can set up tasks in your phone that every time somebody tries to log in or see what's on your screen, it snaps a picture of them.
Oh, really?
So you go and create, so it was kind of funny to read over. So what he did is he went in and, you can set up, forget what it's called. Let me look here.
This is if somebody just has your phone trying to get into your phone?
Yeah. Okay. Like who's looking at it. So you can go into all shortcuts. And then what you do is you just basically set it up that every time somebody tries to guess your passcode or unlock your phone, it takes a picture. And then what you do is you say, put the file in a hidden folder. And then you can go back and look and see like how often is somebody trying to look at your phone.
Oh, you mean if like your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend?
Yeah. Kids, you name it. So it was just
my
kind of
wife,
funny.
Here's my phone. She has my passwords. I don't care because I have nothing to hide in there.
I went through that same thing when I was married. Like there'd be times she's like, "Well, what's on your phone?" I'm like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to hide. That's the whole thing.
Yes, I look at one set of tits on there and the algorithm sends them all. It's not my fault.
Too funny. But anywho, it was just an interesting video to see that like all these things to set up on the phone. But I guess today's topic is security. Don't click on links that you don't know. And I should have, to Ed's point, he's like, "Oh, did it have all the time information and everything else?" I'm like, "No." I was in a rush. I just saw. Yeah.
All I ever do is do a reply and see where it came from. And if it's not, because I had one the other day about somebody that had my Microsoft account password for this one account that I don't really use and I'm like, okay, is this real? So I deleted that. And then I went into Microsoft and it told me you need to change your password. So,
yeah. Luckily, I don't keep banking information, all that stuff on my computer. Like I hardly ever log into that. I do most of that stuff from my phone. Right. But you never know. You never know what's going on out there. It's just, be careful of the links. Even if they look legit, always hover over them before you click them. And then I will say, ChatGPT to the rescue. As soon as I clicked on it, I just unplugged my computer, took it offline. And then I used ChatGPT to go through all the settings while I was waiting on my cybersecurity friend to reach back out and tell me what else to do. But it was, for that 30 minutes, I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, this is like when you had to go down to the sheriff's station.
Yes, exactly. I forgot all about that.
You're really easy, gullible there, man. When you said you're clean, I was going to say, yeah, you shaved really well today. I see your head's
Yeah,
clean.
that was actually yesterday. Thank you. This is a half a day's growth already.
Yeah.
But
I'm trimming my beard up tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, this one, like I said, they were really creative because they went through that third-party platform and said, "Hey, we're hiring a speaker."
It's like it's just like Microsoft, not Facebook, where they go through there and say, "Hey, you've been hacked. You need to do this and cut up yours."
Well, this was them actually taking time to go create an account on Bark as an event host, so they got pretty good. I mean,
yeah, but that's all they do in some of these countries is they have these people. That's all they do. So just be careful, like Brian said, what you're doing. Be careful what you click on. I had a guy in my old office constantly. He would have viruses on his computer, but Asian porn will do that to you. It's not really free, people.
Yeah. It's what the funniest thing is, this is the most people. Oh, I forgot to hit start on the other page. There's 5 people listening, and this is the one day we're not talking about anything legit. Okay, go live.
It is legit. It's about security and making sure that you don't click on it. And when you're making apps, make sure you fully secure it and double check it and everything else you could possibly get, so that you are not responsible for other people losing their stuff.
Agreed. And
so how many times you get we had a hack, newsletter from some company.
Well, yeah, all it takes is one, right? I mean, so I'll even show. Can I show just this?
Can you show just for the company?
Yeah, I want to show just that email. I don't want to share the rest. So let me go here.
Oh, did you hear about the one country who got a ton of cryptocurrency and where they they were investigating? They found a ton of this stuff. It was like the tax information and stuff, and they were taking pictures of it like you see a lot of the sheriff departments do with the haul. Well, they had the reset password information in there, so someone drained the Bitcoin wallet.
No, I didn't hear that. So this was the one that I should have paid attention to. I don't know if that's big enough for you to see. Yeah, so I went to go here, and what you should do is doing what I'm doing now, and that is hover over it. And so it looks like Zoom invite, but it's spelled wrong, right? And so then always go in and
you mean because
be more diligent than I was.
Zoom because it's s.zoom.
Well, it looked weird because it's not long enough, like with what you normally see. And then to your point, in here it didn't say, a date, a time, and I thought, well, okay, maybe it's just somebody basic. I mean, they're using a Gmail, but they went in through.
There's your first mistake.
What's that?
Gmail. Is it?
You'd be surprised on this platform. There's a lot of people who are asking for gigs, are using Yahoo, Gmail. And so some of those I'm like, are they legitimate, or is that there's the company getting you to respond and spend money on it?
What's his email? What's Frank Montez's email?
Just at Gmail, his name at gmail.com, which a lot of people have that, like I've got Brian Galke at Gmail. So
I know, but I don't do anything business. It's got to be from a business email. If they're doing gigs, they're going to have a business email.
You'd be surprised. Like I can log into the Bark thing, and it's a lot of Gmail people.
Really?
And that's one of my litmus things now is I'm going, well, wait a minute. Are they not using their business one because they don't want to be spammed? But then why would they use their personal one? So I don't know. I'm testing this new software.
What you did, that invitation you clicked on, or did you click on the link?
I clicked on the link because the view invitation looked weird. But I didn't hover over it like I should, like this, where when you hover, I got to click on it. If you hover, then you can see what it really takes you to. Well, I guess you can't see that on your screen. On mine, it says what it's trying to take me to. And then, like I said, I freaked out, took everything offline.
Oh, because you clicked on it.
Yeah. All right. And it took me to a black blank screen.
So everybody email that Frank Montez at gmail.com. Tell me you want to do a Zoom with them.
But it's really interesting. I'm going to have to show you. Well, if I do.
No, I know. That's good. I'll take your word for it. It's just really weird. It's one of those things that I check where's the email from all the time. If I don't know them or I don't know anything, let's do a reply. Where does that email really go? And check on it first. Yeah.
Well, like I said, what's interesting about this one is they were coming in through. They had to go in, set up an account in Bark.
But it's a free account. I assume they didn't pay for it.
It could be. But let me see if I can just show you, just for fun, for anybody who's a speaker. This was recommended on a a different event I went to. So let me stop that screen.
I've never heard of BART, except for the BART when you go through the toll stuff.
No, Bark, B-A-R-K,
I know.
bark.com. Let me go share. So if anybody is in the speaker world, so you'll get some in.
Is this different than the other one you've been doing?
This is a brand new one. I just started using like 2 weeks ago, and so I'll report back in a month or so. But it tells you some basic information. What are they looking for? What's their budget? You can see where it's located. So like, I'm not going to Detroit for $1,000.
Montez in here. Has he got one in here?
Yeah, that's how he found in here. So this was his response, and he reached out to me in the platform. So it said it was in Atwood, and I looked, that's outside of Nashville, and I thought, okay. And then it gives a date. So like, here's what he reached out for. You know, hey, I've got an event Saturday, March 28th. It's up to an hour. I'm looking for professionals. You know, reach out to me. And so he went into here and was pinging people. And so I responded back to it. So you can see like activity in here. When I viewed it, they requested a quote from me. I sent them a message, or they sent me a message, and then I responded back. But I should have looked at like,
yeah, but they should have given you a scheduling time, not an auto click on Zoom to start. That was your first mistake. It should have when is it? What time is it? You know,
right. Well, that's what we're going to hop on a Zoom for, right?
I know, but but is that email could have came and you could have come in tomorrow. He's not going to know that you're in the Zoom technically unless he's in the Zoom all the time.
Right. Well, what it looked like is he was sending me a Zoom, but anyway, back over here.
Like he's sending a Zoom in a platform. He doesn't know if you're really in and at any time.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not trying to say you messed up, but you messed up.
Right. But so there's different things in here. So it'll tell you like, hey, I'm looking for somebody in the next 3 months. How long is the speaker for? So you can go in and read about the gigs and figure out, is it something you want to apply to or not? And you buy credits. And so like this one's 21 credits to respond to it. So I don't know. I'll see how it's working.
How much are credits?
There's different packages. So if you come in, like, let me see here.
Is it like?
It's got different packages. That's what I was looking to see. So of course they want to push you towards Elite Pro, which is $89 a month. Well, if you get 1 gig, it can pay for it.
Right.
But what's interesting is you still have to buy credits. It only gives you 20% off and then 2 free leads every week. So you can scroll through it, but yeah, I mean, you see down here, get seen by more, blah, 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 $89 a month.
Here's my question. You could do better than this. You could take this one and the other one and combine them and make a super app.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you need help on that, let me know.
Yeah.
You just tell me why I have it done in a couple of days.
You can come in and you say like, hey, I'm not interested. And they'll say why, and say just like, you know, I'm unavailable. I don't provide this service.
Small. There's no job too small, just small speakers.
That's right. So, but from now on, I will definitely be staying away from the ones like, let's see. That's legit email.
See, that's a real email.
That's a real email.
Yeah. Stay away from the Gmails.
Yeah, that's real email.
Yeah, see, I was right. Yeah. You were wrong again.
Well,
email wise, they're all .coms. They're not gmail.coms.
Well, it's like they figured it out because normally these are all like,
is that in this one or is this in the other one? They're all Gmails.
That's in this one that they've been leased. So let me go first to respond. Okay, Kelly. No, these are all good.
Yeah, so you just picked the one that wasn't.
Well, that's not. It's no, like, here you go. So this one's a Gmail. You can see because it ends there.
But they're not the norm. They're the abnormal.
This time they are. So today, here you go. New York.
That's a bad one too.
Could be.
Maybe you should check to see if all Gmails are, and you can tell the people all your Gmail accounts have bad people on them.
Right. Now they do flag like here, like they verified phone number, verified email, frequent users. So that's a good one. Okay. Well, if you know they're a frequent user, then they've used the platform before, legitimate email, you know.
Right. So now you know what to look for. Yeah.
Right. So we'll remove all this.
Thank everybody for putting up with Brian talking about that today.
Yeah. It's all my fun stuff.
Yeah. So most important thing is like we just make in this world, people are trying to get something from you at all times.
Oh yeah. Constantly. Yeah. Trying to get your stuff.
Yeah. And nothing worse than, you can do what I do, just keep no money in your accounts and have bad credit. That's the best way to do everything.
Oh, hey, I'm on that same plan. I'm
That's
one
like,
step
they were
ahead of
like,
them also.
what you got, about the title lock. Title lock
Yeah.
doesn't lock your title. All it does is tell you that someone put a lien on you and sold your house. That's what title lock does. It just tells you that a transaction happened. Doesn't stop
Didn't
it
know
from
that.
happening. Because
Yeah.
there is no such thing as like flip the switch and nobody can record anything. There is not that.
Gotcha. All right. What else you got going on?
Nothing.
Anything going into the weekend?
Just working, and I got to finish up my one loan office, the loan processing software, so that I can have that API on to Monday input, so I can do work on it, because I haven't downloaded everything to make sure it fully works. That's why I haven't put my new site live, because I didn't want somebody else to go in there and play with it.
Gotcha. Until you're ready.
Well, it's ready, but it's, I do more to make sure that it's ready. Yeah. But the best thing I like that's done really well for me is the night signal.com, KNIGH, like a night, to keep track of all your APIs, all your cron jobs, everything about your website. Make sure it's always working. If you have a blog that automatically posts, make sure the blog was posted or the person's supposed to do it. I'm telling you, it's saved me so much time and fixing so many things. So anyway,
yeah, I'm gonna chill this weekend. I got a spring break with kiddo the following week.
Yeah. So you're not here next week?
Nope, I won't be here. Well, I'll be here next week. I won't be here the 16th through the 20th.
Gotcha.
Be on roller coasters, all that fun stuff.
You should come on here while you're on a roller coaster. See, hey, let's
get FaceTime.
Yeah,
watch the wind blow through my hair.
That's right, right through your beard.
Yes. Now I'm gonna chill out. I got to do a bunch of stuff today. I was on with Joel earlier trying to figure out what I need to fix on the website, what I need to change. So I've got a whole laundry list of things to work on. Because it's a weird time to be in the industry. I think we've talked about this before. Like, people aren't buying courses because everybody wants instant gratification from an AI. So it's trying to figure out, okay, what besides speaking, which I've got a lucrative contract that I'm waiting, should get back today. That's going to be for New York in May. So I'm looking forward to that. And then just chasing gigs that hopefully don't give me spam. And then,
but I have that thing I created for a couple of the leadership people and the management people. That's it's a ask whatever the thing is. I think would be perfect for you, and you should have on your website. You could be everything about you. They could ask the questions. You can have it behind a paywall. They can do gamifications. And instead of a course, they can just ask questions, and it's automatically right to them. And it's not just flashcards. It's more than that. And I think that's what you should do on top of, because then you can just send people to your website. Hey, it's whatever a month, and then you get behind here and you work against other people in there, kind of like a leaderboard, like you do on Peloton and all those other places.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about with Joel earlier today. Is we're talking about building community out, because that's where they're seeing people do things, is going live in their community. And we see that with Nuno and all those people. So. Trying to get back into that. And then Henry and I caught back up yesterday about really pushing for the YouTube going forward. So Henry's going to help me with what to put out there. He's doing the research. I'll do, the talking. I'll record the videos and stuff like that. So the plan, the rest of this year, let's put it that way, is to just really get going on a lot of stuff that I've been putting off, which includes calling gigs, applying for things. I sat back for 2 years waiting for things to come to me, and that's just not the way to do it. So took a hit on my savings, because that's what I lived off of when I was doing it. Now I'm motivated that this is how I've got to treat it, like a 9-to-5 business, or I'm gonna have to go back and work in a 9-to-5 business.
Yes, that's how all businesses are. You're supposed to treat it like you said 9-to-5. We treat it more like a 5 to 9.
Right. And that's the problem. When I had a 9-to-5 job, I was so busy at night, like, after the ex-wife and kiddo went to sleep, I went back downstairs and worked, and I learned and watched videos and all that. And now I just literally all get done and be like, okay, well, time, and I don't do anything. And that's what I realized is coming into this year, into 2026, is I need to go back to who I was when I had that job, meaning that I'm not wasting time watching something on TV. I'm learning courses, doing things, taking action, like I was to get speaking even going when I had a 9-to-5 job. I'm not doing it nearly as hard as I should be right now.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with taking a couple hours to watch something, but I work all the time. If I'm, and again, when I say all the time, well, I tell something what to do. And then when it's done doing what it's doing, I tell it again what to do. That's the difference with the AI. And it just, I enjoy it because I'm creating. It's like when I love working with wood. It's just so dusty. And so, and now I can build stuff and not get dirty, if you understand what I mean. So,
because now you're using your brain.
Yeah.
So.
And the best part of it is forcing AI to do what you want, not what it wants to do. Right. Those are two separate things. If you don't know how to talk to it and push it beyond its limits, you don't know what you're doing. And I don't mean that wrong. But it's just, it will only do so much unless you push it. It's just like your kids. They're only going to do the bare minimum. Go clean your room. When they made their bed, they didn't pick up all the what's that pile in the closet? Right, of all those clothes. When they shoved everything in the closet, my room's clean. And that's how AI acts. It's the same way. Yeah.
Well, and keep going. The better you have to, the better. Well, to keep on that for a second, then we'll take us out. And that is the better that you play with it, the more you learn to ask it. So that's what everybody says. When you first did it, it was very much a, hey, how do I do this? Okay, thanks. And now you have to give it creativity. Like, imagine that no is not an answer. What can I do for this? And then it's like, oh yeah, you're right. And it gives you much more information, but you have to tell it to work outside the box.
Yeah, because that was like the water slide I built. In order to tie it to the payment platform that they had, it wouldn't let me. It says, well, you can't do that because of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, how do we get around that? Because no is not an option. And it did. It figured it out. And now it's like, wow, you could do that? I go, yeah, you can do that now.
Yeah.
I'm not telling everybody, because if you want it, you're going to have to hire me. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's, and Perry was talking about that. Who was it? One of the guys that's in the Ignite program, like the city came to him because they just spent $400,000 on a new website, and it was worse than one he did in Lovable. And so he's helping to come in and fix it and, fix their SEO, fix their AEO and everything else. Because when they went to a new website, their traffic was down something like 70%. And that's the funny thing is a lot of people just need to get in. And you and I have talked about this over and over again. You have to learn to dabble so you know what you should pay for and what you shouldn't pay for.
Right.
So you don't have to be an expert in anything, but you need to know when you're being taken advantage of.
Yeah. It's like years ago when we used to connect computers through the internet, in your company, right? Into it, you had your own networking and all that stuff. And how we did it. Well, I owned one of those companies, and I would set up our mortgage company every time we moved. But what happened is later on, we'd hire those companies to do it, and we wouldn't do it. And they'd tell me, well, this is what the issue is this, and this is. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And they were like shocked. I knew how it really worked. That's what you're saying. Understand what this is so that when people come to you and tell you certain things, that you know if it's the truth or not.
Yeah. And you just have to be, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be dangerous to know when you're being taken advantage of.
Or you can become the expert if you want.
Yeah, if you want.
I still think you should build out. So here's the thing that's nice about AI right now. When you're building anything, the user is building it the way that they want it. So they find the pain of what's out there. This doesn't have this and this and this. That's the same thing with my processing software. There's certain things that weren't out there. I wanted it a certain way. They won't do it. So now I'm doing it for myself. And then I'm going, okay, this could be done for all the people in my industry. And they piss off all these companies, or they're going to come in and buy me to shut me down, which is okay too, because then I could just go on vacation forever. But that's
not a bad way.
No,
not a bad way to get bought out. And that's one of the things I'm curious to hear Perry talk about today. Today is supposed to be all about how to sell your AI to everything. So I think today's session will be good. I'll be on it for 2 hours, and I got to go head to kiddos got something at school today, so I'll go hit the gym by the school and then go do that fun stuff.
All right, why don't you take us out, because I got to get ready for that. It's only like 14 minutes.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining Ed Parcaut and myself here at ACES53. We're here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central. Ed goes by Pacific Coast time, 10 for him. Time zone narcissist.
I work harder.
Yeah. Anyway, best way, well, thank you for being here. And the best way you can support us, just share this information. Keep watching. Let us know something you want to talk about, or if you want to be a guest, what we call a joker, that's somebody with a special skill or talent. Let us know, and we'll see about having you on. But thank you for being here, Ed. Thank you for everybody else. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Al.